everybody, Elizabeth here at Petals and Parchment. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today is week 30 of the Reflective Rolodex Challenge. Each week we focus on mindfulness and gratitude and exploring our art practices together. Before we get started, I'm just gonna light this candle real quick. It's something I like to do for myself before I get started each week. If you've been here before, you know that I like to take a few deep breaths before we get started. This just sort of centers us and allows us to release any of the anxiety and tension we might be holding on to from the previous week. Take a nice big deep breath in through your nose and gently exhale. Feel your shoulders softening. Get ready to create freely with me. Take a big deep breath in through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth, allowing your thoughts to slow down and your heart to open. Let's take one more big deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, exhaling all of that doubt and criticism. When you're ready, open your eyes and let's get started. Okay, we are in the final week of July, which discusses the courage to celebrate life. And I want to talk about the right to joy. Do you give yourself permission to feel joy even when life is hard? Why or why not? I have actually been trying to really focus on this lately myself, but just because life is hard doesn't mean you can't seek out the joy. Without hope and joy, it just becomes such drudgery. That's why that's a recurring theme in my work. Things that can turn your perspective in your day around is something that I try to actively practice every day, because I do give myself permission to feel joy even when life is hard. To be quite honest, it's hard for me, but it's so amazing too. And it's really important to acknowledge that and to just stop and appreciate it, I think, because you can get caught up in everything and things can feel overwhelming and heavy, especially with world events and how quickly news travels nowadays. So you really have to be very intentional, I find. So I have to really just be so deliberate with my joy. Otherwise, I just get sucked right into the rigmarole of chores and never-ending to-do lists. And I feel a bit like Cinderella sometimes. So stop and feel some joy. Just being super deliberate with joy, savoring those little moments in life. That's what it's all about. Make sure you do that for yourself. It's really important because it goes by so fast. You have a right to feel joy too in your life, not just give it to others. Remember that. Okay, let's get to the fun art portion next. Okay, so I thought I'd do a little bit of collage with you today because my scraps are getting kind of out of control. Whose aren't, am I right? So I'm just going to like tear some book pages and stick them down to the substrate, and then I'm gonna try to create some fireworks on top since we're still in July. This won't even make a dent, but I'll at least feel like I'm trying. Okay, so I just want to use a little pop of color in the background. Okay, and then I've just got some matte medium, which just is going to stick the papers down to the Rolodex card. And you just put it down and then cover it. If you need to, you can pick it up and put it back down. It's pretty forgiving in that way. So I haven't done a collage in a while. Okay, so that's dry. Now I'm going to cut the the excess off just so that it's a nice clean shape and knock back some of the color here. I think it's best to do it with your finger, but you can use a brush if you want, or sponge. Sort of dip your finger in it and then like trail it off a little bit until you can see sort of what's happening. I'm just going kind of putting some on wherever there's a joint between two papers and then sort of rubbing it away so it's not super thick and you can still see through. Okay, this is what I have so far. Now I'm going to take some alcohol ink, and my hope is that I can just put a drop down, and then using this straw that I use for alcohol inks, I'm just gonna try to blow the ink in every direction to sort of simulate fireworks is what I'm hoping, but I'm not sure, you know, if it's gonna work perfectly or not. So let's give it a try. Okay, woo! Hurry! Well, doesn't look like a firework, but alright, let's keep going. Push forward, let's see what happens. I probably have to start blowing much faster here. Don't let it sink in. Oh boy. Cool patterns anyway. This is silver since I don't have white. So I'm gonna try again. Okay, dries pretty quickly, looks pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, that looks kind of cool, like the blue went across the silver right there. Let's try one more time with the red. That was a little more effective. All right, cool. I'm gonna stop there and get some white paint and do some splatters. Let me first put these alcohol inks away. Not quite the firework I was going for, but still pretty cool nonetheless. Okay, so I'm just going to put some gesso on my paper here and just spray some water on it to sort of loosen it up a little bit. I'm going to dry this and clean up this mess and then meet you back here for some finishing touches. Okay, so I just grabbed a few inks and a sentiment that I want to use, and I think we'll be in business. This didn't go quite how I planned, but I am quite happy with it. I'll show you it here in a moment after I finish assembling. And I'm just gonna go around the edge of the card with some blue. I think this blue will help everything stand out just perfectly. And I really do like this sentiment. You're allowed to be both a masterpiece and a work in progress. I think that sums it up for me pretty perfectly. I really like how this one turned out. Let me know if you try this technique. Let me know if you know a secret special way to make fireworks. I would love to hear about it. I hope you have a great crafty weekend, and anybody who's looking for the August bonus pages for the Reflective Rolodex, those are in the file folder, so you can grab those, get them printed, and get a head start for next weekend. I hope you have a great weekend, and until next time, stay crafty. Bye!